I'm so good at doing that.
Welcome to episode 5 of Premier League and Pints. We didn't do an episode last week because I think we all just needed some time to wrap our heads around the shitstorm and insanity that was week 4 of games. Yeah. What the hell happened?
We're back though. Hi guys.
What in the world was week 4?
I don't know, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like,
as far as I'm
you know
concerned,
what I'm talking about.
as far as I'm concerned, there's only been 3 weeks.
Listen. We're gonna go into all the games here, but like Saturday morning, whatever, Man City ties leads, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. We're gonna be the talking point of this week. We didn't get the W. Sunday happened, and I don't think anyone even gave a shit what happened on Saturday.
You have to wait until United plays before you can say that.
Not wrong, not wrong at all.
But yeah, I mean, so many teams, so many crazy results that like, who the hell would have thought happened?
Yeah, it's just like this. I don't even know what to say. Like, I was like speechless.
Yeah. You want to jump into the games?
Yeah, let's jump into the games.
We'll get into more of.
I don't know what games you're talking about. As far as I'm concerned, this past game week never happened.
Drink your beer.
Yeah, shut up.
Okay,
all right, let's start.
You still have some time before we get to talk about your game.
I don't want to talk about it. I just want to cry.
First game of the weekend was Chelsea versus Palace at Stamford Bridge.
Close one.
Boom.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea actually looked convincing, I'd say, in probably the first time I've seen them convincing this season.
Yeah. This is the Chilwell game.
Yeah, Chilwell kind of took over. 1 goal and an assist.
He said, I'm taking this spot, and I am not giving it up.
Yeah.
Looked great. Which is good out to them, because that was probably the best their signing has looked out of all the signings they've had this year so far.
Yeah.
In the Premier League, at least.
Yeah, and first game that Kepa was benched. Mendy.
He's gone.
Oh, wait a minute.
Kepa's gone.
Wait a minute.
He's done. And then
Kepa's on the bench, and they get a clean sheet? Must be a
I was going to say, his first
Must be a coincidence.
Yeah.
Mendy looked good. He had a couple saves he had to make. Looked all right.
I think they need to bring someone else in because Kepa's confidence is at like an all-time low.
And I think like his morale just brought the team down a little bit.
Yeah, and all the shit around his name, like it's just like, oh god, they need to put someone else in. And Mendy looked more convincing in goal. I think it's gonna be better off in the long run for him.
Yeah, Kepa's out. He'll be sent over in some type of loan or transfer to some team that's gonna make a giant mistake, paying a bunch of money.
No, there's no way they'll accept that much money for him. They're gonna take their losses.
A team making a mistake, signing a player. He's coming to United. Must be. Making mistakes, bunch of money? No.
Okay. Moving on.
Yep.
Everton, Brighton. Everton is the team of the year. I don't care what anyone says. Hamas is for MVP, Premier League Player of the Year. It doesn't matter.
Wait.
Every week we can have the same conversation every single week.
Can I make a statement?
Doesn't matter.
This will be audio, video, everything's recorded here. I'm making a sweeping statement. I'm officially on Garrett's.
A what statement?
Sweeping statement.
Oh, okay.
I am on the James Player of the Year train.
Oh,
I'm on it.
Come on.
Dude, he's so good.
Every week.
He's so
good. And we
He's
can't even say it's like they've played bad teams. Like, they've played some good competition. I mean, they just looked good doing it.
I'm on the train. Glad to be aboard.
Okay. And he's only going to get better. I think that's what I was about to say. I think he can only get better. I mean, he didn't look like he was in the greatest physical condition in his debut and still contributed very well to the game. I think now he's just settling in a little bit more. I mean, as long as they can stay healthy, which is pretty much the case with any team, I think they can. I mean, Everton is looking like a top 4. Can we say it? Because everyone else looks like dog shit. So,
I'm gonna
top 4.
We can say it. Top 4.
I need to see a couple more game weeks. I'm not 100% convinced yet, but I think they're definitely.
I'm like 99% convinced.
They're definitely Europa League, I think, at the moment. Top 4 is tough.
What I think is going to help you is this week.
Yeah.
Because they play Liverpool, which we'll get into.
Yeah. Although.
Maybe not.
I guess we'll talk about that.
Yeah. But no, I mean, James is just.
He's a creator, man.
Yeah.
He creates.
That's what they need.
That's what every team needs. And they found theirs.
Especially them. Because they didn't have that.
And Calvert-Lewin is just.
I was going to say we can't ignore him.
He's the best.
He's scoring streak continuing. I think
he's the best.
Has he scored every game so far this?
Maybe all but one.
I think he's in all.
I think he's in all.
And he scored for England in the international break.
Oh, yeah,
so I mean, he's fine. Talk about finding your stride. He is Seabiscuit over there finding his stride.
Seabiscuit, okay.
Why'd you say Seabiscuit?
I couldn't think of another horse, man.
Oh god.
They strides like.
You gotta love the inside jokes.
I think one reason why Everton might not be a top 4 team at the moment is Pickford. I think he's such a liability in goal. Like he comes up with some good saves, but he literally gave away the first goal in the Brighton game. He literally missed a catch. It bounced off his hands.
He's either
a little pop up.
He's the goalie that will make the save. Will pick one out of the top corner, but then I'll pass it right to the wrong team at the top zone box.
Sounds
Like
about right.
I think he's too much of a liability back there.
I mean, he had a couple gaffes last year too. In the Liverpool game, remember he like dropped one on the line that they lost in like the 90th minute.
Yeah, I don't know what he does though. Like I said, he pulls out the spectacular, but then the routine saves. He's like terrible.
And he's still England's number one.
I was just about to say, like, isn't he still in the England squad? Like,
yeah, I think it's getting.
And they have
closer.
a lot of talent.
It's getting
as far as
closer and closer to
goalkeepers.
him losing his spot, though. I think like Nick Pope's pushing and
Nick Pope's pretty
someone
good.
else too. I forget who.
Nick Pope's pretty good.
Yeah, and Dean Henderson even might get a shot.
Yeah. A lot of competition for that spot.
Hopefully he gets a shot at United too. Holy hell.
Yeah, I think that's all we really have to say about that game, right?
Yeah, pretty
Anything else
much.
you wanna
Yeah,
talk
Everton,
about?
Thomas for MVP. It's fine. Thomas for MVP.
Thomas.
So
Thomas.
Garrett.
Yeah.
Leeds and City.
I don't care. We tied, bro.
1-1.
I thought this was going to be like, first of all, the stat of this game that will stand out to me is, I just hit my microphone. City had 23 shots. 2 of them went on net.
What were they aiming at?
2 of them went, you shot the ball 23 times.
Can't hit the target. You're not going to score like that.
And hit the net twice. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Like, what? Like, honestly, pass one to the goalie. Just get your shots on target up a little bit, because I think Leeds had 7 shots.
Just
and, like,
pass one to the goalie.
just get them up. I
I
think Leeds had like 7 shots in this game. Had like 3 on target. We shot the ball 23 times. This is the game where you're like,
you know what? For some reason, I feel like that's not right. I'm checking. I'm fact checking you.
I'm gonna stare at you.
You
in
shot the ball
contempt.
23 times.
Exactly. I'm gonna stare at you in contempt until you score them right.
You hit the net twice.
I 100% did. This is the game where you need. I told you.
All right.
This is how much you miss Aguero in a game like this.
Yeah.
Because if Aguero takes 5 shots, he's not missing all 5. You know what I mean? Like he's
hitting the net on some of them.
No matter how older he's getting, slower he's getting, he is a goal scorer, and that's what they're missing.
He'll put the ball on target, which, if doesn't lead to a goal, could lead to a rebound, and that's another opportunity.
Like we've shown over the past couple of weeks and months without him, like Sterling can have a hit or miss game, but he's also one to miss a sitter.
Yeah.
Jesus is the same way.
Yeah,
they're not Aguero.
Yeah.
He's a hard person to replace, regardless of his age and at this point injuries. At this point, he finds the goal.
Yeah.
And apparently, they couldn't do it on 21 of their shots.
Yeah, and it's tough in this game too because they're missing their first 2 strikers on the sheet. So I mean, Jesus was out too. So I don't even know who played forward in that game. Was it Sterling played up top and then
it was like Sterling? Yeah.
Mars in the middle, Torres on the right.
Torres
Sterling
got his
on the
first
left.
start. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. Like I know he rotates a lot, but he usually always has either Aguero or Jesus in his lineup. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of like uncomfortableness up front.
Yeah, I mean any team in the Premier League that loses their key striker. There you go. Any team in the Premier League that loses their key striker is going to struggle. Like Liverpool without Salah, Arsenal without Aubameyang, Man U doesn't have one.
We don't. You're not wrong. We don't have a true striker.
So
that's the struggles.
Now you do.
I mean, Tottenham without Kane. I mean, any team and that's what they did. They lost their number 1 striker, and it's showing.
Now we touched on.
And Leeds isn't a bunch of scrubs either. I mean, we've shown that Leeds this year is a team that's going to compete in every game they play in, regardless of competition.
Now we touched on Kepa, and then we said Pickford may not be the best either. What about that Ederson?
Yeah,
that
he
missed
missed a
punch.
punch.
Just swinging a miss.
Wasn't his best.
What, like hit hands, chest, and then right to the defender or other team?
My man went for the
Just
Tyson.
catch the ball. Just catch the ball.
My man went for the Tyson knockout and swung and missed.
That was
that's
terrible.
I think it was late in the game too when it happened.
Oh yeah, that wasn't
correctly.
Ederson's the same way. Like he'll make an incredible save and then he'll get caught 20 feet off his line and get chipped from like 40 out, and you're like,
Are you a little concerned?
I don't even know, because it's like, is it them or is it everyone?
Everyone, yeah.
Like no one has played consistent this year except Everton.
Yeah.
Like show me one other team in the league that's put consistent. Yeah,
I was going to say Villa hasn't lost it either.
mean,
so.
it's almost insane. Like
yeah,
but I don't know
if saying like 1-1 and 1 through 3. So like,
I mean, I'm not happy about it.
Yeah. I mean, most of us pegged City to go or finish
1,
top.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see what happens when they get Aguero back.
Mm-hmm.
They still have to figure out their back line, because I don't even think at this point they know who their back line is.
They do not.
Because they have 3 center backs. They put Ake, throw him in sometimes, because why not? We signed him. Let's just throw him in the game in the middle of the game. It's fine.
That's a
We
subject,
had the
yeah.
Kyle Walker rant last time. We still play Benjamin Mendy, so I mean, they need to find a back line. But the problem is that I don't think the players on the team are performing every time they get a chance. So he just keeps cycling through them, hoping that one sticks, and no one is. Laporte is like the only consistent you're gonna get back there.
Yeah, and it's also, was it Diaz's first game or
Yeah.
second game?
I think it's the first game.
They need some time to settle in too. And again, they're playing against the Leeds team, who's pretty good on the counterattack. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. They're probably going through some, figuring things out because they have had some squad changes. So I guess we'll see in a couple weeks. See if they can.
Yeah, because I think next week De Bruyne is out. So
De Bruyne's out. Is Aguero back yet?
no, he's back to training. I don't think he's back to game fitness yet.
And I think Jesus is still out. So it could be a good game.
So shit. Oh, that's not
Should be
good. That's
interesting.
not what you want to hear
Could
going
be a good
into the
game.
game against Arsenal. But all right, we can move past my disappointment of City.
All right, we can go into Newcastle, 3-1 over Burnley.
Yeah, I thought Newcastle looked pretty good.
Newcastle's the weirdest team I think this year,
Yeah.
and there's been a lot of weirdness.
They either play really good or really bad.
Exactly. There's just no in between. Like they either like control the game all out, or they just get smacked. Like there is no.
Yeah.
I just realized we had smacked written somewhere else down there. But
Oh,
I mean,
shut up.
talk about was that in the?
Probably.
I wasn't even in that game.
No, it wasn't.
I just figured.
Wilson though has looked great for them. I mean,
We got another goal, 2 goals. I think he had a PK and a.
Yeah, too.
Well, St. Maximin had a great game too.
Yeah.
I mean, his solo goal was sick. I think it was good for him because there was a lot of hype around him before the season started.
Mhm.
Like he had a good end to last season, and like he's starting to be linked to some like bigger clubs, and I think now that he got on the score sheet and he's like creating, I think his season's about to take off. Like he literally put Callum Wilson's second goal on a plate. I don't know if you remember seeing it, but it was like charged down the sideline or down like the right hand flank and then just crossed the ball in beautifully. Goalie couldn't get to it. Defenders couldn't get a foot on it. It was just
You said that, and we all know he was linked to some bigger teams, rumored to go somewhere. I honestly do think either halfway through this season or by the end of this season, he will be moving on. I think he's going to have a good year. I think bigger clubs are going to want him. I think he can help them. I could see him leaving.
I don't know. I
think
feel
it's
like
worth it.
players have been like more loyal lately. Like, am I crazy? Like everyone thought Grealish was leaving. He didn't leave. Everyone thought Madison was leaving. He didn't leave.
Yeah, I think it's different for Grealish, and because he's like a Villa boy, like
True.
he literally
Yeah.
grew up at that club,
And
like,
they
he
probably
brought
walked
him to the Premier.
and they probably
League.
brought him into that front office and said, "Hey, we're building this team around you. Whatever you want, we'll get."
whatever
like-
they can afford, I
yeah.
guess.
We'll talk about it later. Ollie Watkins.
And Ollie Watkins,
But on the other hand of this game, Burnley,
3 in a row.
3 losses in a row.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Burnley. You and Fulham are just not doing
Are
it this
you
year.
guys on
It's so
why I hate Burnley now? They're so
I never
bad.
said it. I mean,
They're
I
so
was trying
bad.
to give them a fair shake.
I'm
but
not.
They're not deserving one at this point.
Since the first game of the year, they haven't. They're terrible.
They've been a mainstay in the Premier League the last couple of years too, and like they finished probably top half a couple of years ago. So I don't know if they're just trending the wrong way or something's not going right there. Maybe
They
the
just
manager's
suck.
gonna get fired if they keep this up. But
Yeah, because
they need
it's
something
always
to
the
change.
manager's fault.
Yeah,
20 guys in the field, or 11 guys in the field, 7 on the bench. Nah, it's the coach's fault. He sucks.
Always is.
It's unbelievable.
All right, moving on. Leicester.
Starting off the insane week.
Leicester, starts off just madness. Leicester 0, West Ham 3.
All right, so I don't want to quote us on this, but I think last podcast we just talked about how consistent Leicester plays, and then they went into this week and got absolutely smacked.
this is why we're not experts. We can't predict these things. No one
Man.
can predict these things.
I don't think anyone was pulling a 3-0 West Ham win in this one. I
Dude,
mean,
Yeah,
It
that's
looked-
after Leicester smacked City last week.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Or 2 weeks ago.
Yep,
Leicester-
I got nothing. I have nothing.
The only comparison I
Bowen
have,
looked good.
yeah, but like Leicester just, and again, not the only team this week, but Leicester just didn't know. Like, look, they didn't know what defense was. Like, they had no idea what was going on in the back. Like,
Yeah.
2 of those 3, like, just handed it to, like, here you guys go. Like, it was, if you're Leicester, I mean, again, I'm the last one to talk, being a United fan, but if you're Leicester against West Ham, kind of embarrassing.
At home.
At home, yeah.
Yeah, and I think
But does home mean really that much this year?
Not really. It's just the
It
travel.
doesn't
I guess.
mean as much. I think it still
Right.
means something, but not as much.
Right, like you're
'Cause you don't
not.
have the fan aspect.
It's
of it.
more of like the like you
travel.
said, the travel, like in the
Yeah.
wear and tear on your body from traveling,
Yeah.
on the bus
It's
or
the
a plane or whatever.
familiarity,
Yeah,
Yeah.
different locker room, different setting.
Yeah.
But you're not getting screamed at by 30,000 insane fans, which I think definitely takes away a little bit from the advantage.
Yeah. And I think one other thing I want to talk about in this game was I think we were tough on West Ham the first 2 weeks. Like, we thought they were going straight down. Like, we thought they
But
were
they
in
didn't look good.
shambles. They did not look good the first week. But, however, after that, they played Arsenal, played them tough. And, like, Arsenal scored late in the game to steal 3 points. They just, like, shit-rocked Wolves. And now Leicester City. So those are two pretty big wins.
I think the problem was with we took what West Ham was doing at the end of last season
Yeah.
and put those expectations on this team coming into it,
Yeah, we did.
and they didn't live up to that. But they're showing now that that team is in there. They just need a couple weeks to get out, apparently.
Well, I said this is going to be a good test for them this week too, playing Tottenham, who just
Yeah.
absolutely shit walloped United.
We'll get there in a minute.
So no, we won't. We're not talking about that game. The game never happened.
But I said Bowen looked good. Player that looks to have a breakout year this year.
Yeah,
He's
he
getting
kinda came out of nowhere.
consistent playing time. He
Kinda came out
started
of
playing
nowhere,
at the
dude.
end of last season.
Yeah.
They still have the Antonio's still their go-to. They have Allaire on the bench, who I think they came to late in this game. He came on. It's weird to see if they're ever going to play those two as a complementary players to start a game, but who knows? Maybe not.
Yeah. They have some decent pieces. I think they need a few more, but I think they'll, like, looking at their squad and watching them play a couple games, like, they should definitely stay up. Like, I know we were telling
They
them
should stay up.
They
I know
should,
we were
yeah.
telling them, we were saying they're going down. They have the pieces to stay up and finish middle of the pack, but it's just a matter of if they can perform and live up to those expectations. But
At this point, we already got 2 going down, so there's only room for one more in
Yeah.
that relegation battle. So
Yeah, I know all three that's going down.
United.
yeah,
Yeah, oh yeah, we're going straight down.
All right, are we good on this game?
yeah,
We'll move on.
100%.
Yep.
Okay, next game.
Not as
Wolves.
exciting.
No, pretty boring game actually. Wolves versus Fulham.
Good old Tim Ream.
Tim Ream basically gave that game away. He has to clear that ball.
He's
It
so
was like a
bad.
loose ball in the box. He flubbed his clearance right to the Wolves defender, pass, and then goal.
Reminder that this man was on the U.S. men's national team, and hopefully he's not up for consideration anymore. But who the hell
But
knows?
it's
I think he was
the
on the
US.
most recent roster, like in
Yeah,
in
it's the
competition.
US.
Really
He's-
hope not.
It's the U.S. He's definitely in consideration.
But a low-scoring game from Wolves.
Fulham.
Fulham sucks.
Yeah. The fact that
Uh,
we really right here, Fulham 0-4, still going straight down.
Yeah, they're.
Like, there's no chance.
Yeah.
There's zero
I don't
chance.
know what they're going to do for the rest of the season, but they don't look like they could buy a win this year. So
The one good game they had was against Leeds, I think, when it was like 4-3. Like, they actually
Yeah.
looked good going forward, but besides that,
Nothing.
they
it's
just
been shit.
they can't close out games. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
One interesting thing, though, they outpossessed Wolves in this game, which I would not have expected.
No, me either.
Not that possession really means anything.
No,
but-
if that's the case, City would win every game.
yeah. All right, we good with that game?
Yeah, it's not as exciting. Fulham's going down. Same
Yeah.
old.
Next game. Southampton 2, West Brom 0. At the same area.
Still waiting for you, Danny Ings shirt. We need it to happen. We need the hat trick.
Yeah, once
We
he
need it.
gets it. I'm
Yeah.
buying the cheapest Danny Ings jersey I can find.
No, you got to splurge. It's Danny Ings.
I'll get you like a baby onesie. What do you think?
Okay,
You can wear one of those?
yeah.
Make it like a towel.
Why does that be baby? I can't wear it.
Well, it'll be like an accessory.
Okay, well, I want to wear it.
So
Not
this
a
game was
onesie.
2-0.
yeah, it's
Ah,
Two nothing. 2-0. Nothing. We can move past baby onesies now.
Yeah.
Southampton is showing some signs of life this year. It was against West Brom, who we've also pegged to go down at least in the last couple of weeks.
yeah,
Um,
I still think they will.
but 2-0 took care of business.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
controlled the game, I would say, for the most part. Had more dangerous chances.
Gineppo had a good, a
I was
nice
going
goal.
to make Brian try and say that.
Brian,
All right, wait, what was it?
did you hear me say it?
Not really.
Who scored first for
Good to know.
Southampton?
Good to know Brian's listening to the rest of us.
I was reading something.
D and J. So that's a nope.
That's an S.
I have two guesses. It's Gineppo or Gineppo.
Gineppo. That's pretty good.
Okay.
You heard me say it though.
I
so,
didn't actually. That's actually not that one. That's not one hard. That one's not that hard.
But yeah, he had a nice finish, and I think he's another player, kind of like Saint Maximin, not necessarily his quality, but someone who can bring like excitement to the game and creativity, where he hasn't really gotten off. He hasn't had like a great start to the season, and hopefully this can like change that around.
Right, we're only 4 games in. I feel like we're putting a lot of things on teams and players, and we're like they still have time to adapt.
Yeah, but I think maybe this starts his season is what I'm saying. Like
a little kickstart.
Yeah, and like I mean they do have some pieces up front like Adams and Ings, so where if they can get like a good chemistry between these players, I think I do think Southampton is gonna have a good season. I will stick with that.
I think they're gonna be like a.
I'm gonna say
12.
I'm gonna say
13.
8 or 9. They'll finish.
I'm gonna say 12 or 13. I think.
15. On the nose.
Okay.
Interesting.
Right.
But yeah, that's
Quote
pretty
us
much
on
it from
that
that game.
Yeah.
Dan, would you like to talk about Arsenal Sheffield?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, you start us off.
So the game was Arsenal 2, Sheffield 1. Arsenal, or at the Emirates. Game took a while to really, get going. Took 60 minutes to get the first goal. And it was actually a really nice team goal. Started with, I forget who it was, but basically interplay between Aubameyang, Bellerin, and then Saka finished it off. So I think they do have some good stuff going forward. They still lack that creativity, as they're transitioning from defense to offense, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think that goal was great. Saka, for him, that builds his confidence, and he got his first senior cap for England, which is pretty cool. He's like 18 years old.
Yeah,
So
that was awesome.
big for him. And then after that, Arsenal goes up 2-0, and Pepe gets his first goal this season. This is another player. Hopefully this goal kickstarts his season because
Waste of money.
Oh, such a waste.
I was going to ask, what I know your thoughts now, obviously, but I think he has minutes, like moments of brilliance, but then he also has why did we spend 80 million pounds or whatever? I don't know what the equivalent is.
He's
dollars,
a good player, but he's not a good player of $80 million.
They paid way too much for him.
You don't pay that much money for glimpses
And
of greatness.
He doesn't
now
even
he's
start.
not starting.
I was gonna say, he doesn't even start. He's $80 million. Between him and Ozil, you could fund an entire soccer team.
Yeah.
On the bench, or not even on the bench, because I don't think Ozil even makes the bench anymore.
No, he's done.
Yeah,
his career's done.
Okay, now this could be the timing thing. Did we talk about the mascot yet on pod?
I don't think so.
So
No, we didn't.
this is the greatest thing Ozil has ever done to just side jab Arsenal as humanly possible.
It's fucking hilarious.
Because at this point he's over it. He don't give a shit. He ain't playing anymore, and he's just collecting
He's
his
making
paycheck.
so much money for doing
yeah.
nothing.
So Arsenal, because of financial troubles, made the decision to, of all the people in the entire organization to cut,
Gunnersaurus.
you cut the Gunnersaurus Arsenal mascot.
So sad.
Are you kidding? They cut the mascot before David Luiz, who gets a red card a game.
And they paid 80 million for Pepe, but
Not for nothing. I don't know how this works. There's a contract, but you couldn't find one player. You're hey, can you cut off $50K out of set to pay for the dude?
that's what Ozil's doing.
Well, then here comes Captain Ozil and goes, hey
You
guys,
should make him
listen,
captain after that.
I'll pay for his salary
As
as
long
long as I'm on the team still. And
Pretty
then,
much, that's
He
pretty
said
much
it for as long as he's at Arsenal.
yeah,
yeah,
and
that's pretty much hey Arsenal, keep paying me to do nothing so I can just pay this guy.
Well,
So
no.
the fans are kind of hey, he's
He makes
here
an
for a
absurd
reason.
amount of money
It-
to not even make the bench.
but it's Ozil making Arsenal just look that much worse.
He needs to
I love it.
we need to get him off the team and then free wages, and I think that'll allow us to get some better players.
And there goes Gunnersaurus.
No, hopefully Aubameyang, Captain Aubameyang, maybe he'll step in.
He's getting sold next year.
Can we talk
No,
about the
he's
dude was
signed
making
a contract.
$60K to be a freaking dinosaur
Dude,
though?
I'll do that.
What?
He was making $50 to $60K to be a dinosaur.
Sounds like a good gig.
Bro, he was a dinosaur.
I know, and he got to see Arsenal games all the
Yeah,
time.
right.
My man was dressed as a dinosaur making
He only got to see the home
$50,000
games
a
too.
year.
He's only at home games. This is pretty much nothing.
This is incredible.
I like it.
But look, I want to know, can you imagine going into the Arsenal board of directors meeting? It was listen, guys, we need to cut funds.
Budget cuts.
We had a
Who's
tough
cutting?
year last year.
Sorry,
What's the
guys.
first one out? And this intern in the back corner goes, "What about the dinosaur?"
And the dinosaur's just in the background, head down.
Yeah, just
He hears that just.
he just takes his head off and just lays
Yes.
it on the table and leaves.
Oh man.
He'll be back.
You don't, get,
Gunnersaurus isn't done yet.
He'll
you,
rise
you don't
again.
get this kind of
Thanks, fellas.
content anywhere else, by the way. We are an odd group.
I'm imagining there has to be a GoFundMe somewhere, right? Fund save Gunnersaurus.
No, Ozil's doing it.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing
He's
it
doing
until
it.
he's there.
There was probably one.
I think
Until
it's
Ozil's
just
like, I got it.
like a impact from the coronavirus. So once they kind of recover financially,
Yeah,
I think
everyone's kind of
fans
struggling.
come back.
But it's just
I know. It
It's
makes it look
insane.
so bad. I agree, but it's
Like, there had to be a better way to, like, save money that was not as in the public eye
Yeah.
as firing this one guy dressed as a dinosaur.
I know.
It's so good. It's just so
even
good.
like someone in management who's making a shit ton of money can
Right.
just, $50,000 a year. It's probably nothing to them.
Like,
Pay him yourself.
What's Arteta making right now a year? Probably, like, something million.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, coach. You couldn't spare $50K to save our dinosaur buddy?
I don't know.
So back to soccer.
Yeah. And then the only other thing I want to talk about this game was Sheffield 0-4. That's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah,
Very
after last year,
surprising.
the pretty decent year.
Yeah. They kind of fell off. We mentioned this every week.
Yeah.
I feel like they fell off after the international break or after the
COVID
break, whatever you want to call it.
COVID gap.
COVID gap. But they just haven't really been able to find their footing since then. Starting the season off terribly.
And like we said, they're a team that's going to win games 1-0, 2-1. And all those games this year that they've had, those close games have gone against them by that one goal. It's when you're a team that doesn't really score a lot, you're relying on your defense, and their defense has just been not as consistent as they have been in the last couple of years. So, well, last year, really.
I mean, teams started to figure them out. Plain and simple.
All right, Brian, you want to listen to the
Nope.
next game?
The camera's not working. I gotta go.
Come on, sit down. Let's do this.
I don't want to.
What a day. What a Sunday this was.
This is very enjoyable, honestly. Actually, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm saying this is enjoyable.
It was an incredible game to
Just
watch.
Fuck you. Fuck
Yeah.
you both. Here we go. Okay.
Hold on, let me just say.
Don't get too loud, by the way. We got
Try my best.
Before we get into this, in our notes, we left, we made sure to leave room for Brian to have a rant. So here's
just
this
says
rant.
Brian Rant.
Let's go, Brian.
Here we go. We were talking about something not soccer related before we started the show here about how my brother went from like a very, very high to very, very low, right? About 20 seconds in, PK to United, I'm freaking out. I'm like, this is our day. You know what, Tottenham? Ha-ha. Jose Mourinho, screw you.
Ha.
Ha-ha to you. And then we decide to head the ball to their team at the top of our six. Harry Maguire, I hate you. I'm staring at the camera now. You're not watching this.
So bad.
I hate you so goddamn much. I wish you got arrested. I wish you stayed in jail.
I was
I
gonna
wish
say
nobody
that.
posted your goddamn bail and you rotted away till you died.
Clickbait
I
thumbnail.
hate you.
Would
I
Man
hate you
U
so
be better
god.
with Maguire in
Shut up,
jail?
not done. Fuck you. Fuck you, Maguire. I don't even know where to begin. The entire team seemed like it just didn't want to be there. No one knew how to
Hold on,
defend.
Can I just say something really quick? You mentioned he headed the ball into his own six, but you didn't mention he tackled his own player and literally let Tottenham run in and score.
Oh
the
yeah,
goal.
forget about that. He
Shaw
he full tackled Shaw. Yeah.
said, "You're not clearing this ball."
Dude.
Nah.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
that I don't even know how to speak about this. It's pretty much all 11 players on the field just didn't want to play. They didn't want to, and they didn't know how to play. It was, and I've seen some tough United losses, and I've seen some tough losses in all sports, like for my team, because all my teams suck. But I have never in my life been more embarrassed and more just like personally hurt by a team. Like it was, I feel like I invest so much into this goddamn team. I've never been so embarrassed in my life to be a United fan.
Right.
Like it is.
But
It was horrendous.
We can't. We
There's
have.
some
You
talking
have to
points
bring
here.
up the fact, right?
Yeah.
This wasn't an 11v11 game where they got absolutely shit on. They got
But
a
they-
red card 28 minutes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're getting to that.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Yeah,
they
so-
sucked, but they
I would
sucked
say they
with
didn't look
reason.
great before that either.
No,
Though.
they look like shit.
But
Like,
before, even
absolute
before
garbage.
that, I mean, the quick free kick they had, it was a great play. I mean, that's just
Dude, Kane,
awareness level.
Kane is
Kane
leading
is
the league in
Kane
assists
is on
this year.
fire. I mean, you gotta give him that. It's a great play. I mean, just to have that set of mind where, oh, Man U's defense sucks. They're caught sleeping. They're probably arguing or something. They just put the ball on and go. And, the pace in the back with two center backs. No one's going to catch him. No one's catching Son.
Yeah.
And it's like,
He's so good right
yeah,
now.
he's so
Those are
good.
two players that are on the
both of
same
them.
wavelength
Yeah,
right now.
they're
Like,
just connecting on all levels.
yeah.
And then the corner with the red card. I mean, as a United fan, I'm not going to say it's a red card. But you put your hands near a guy's face. You hit him in the face. It is a red. My only issue was it Lamella, right? Was it
Yeah,
Lamella?
it was Lamella.
My only issue is Lamella
There was some
threw an
intent there.
elbow that looked a bit harder than the little slap Martial did, and he caught Martial in the chin. The VAR didn't even have a look at that, which kind of blows my mind a little bit. If anything, I think they're both sent off. I mean, because yes, Martial, you can't put your hand on someone's face. You can't do that. The intent there was for you to clearly smack him in the head. Yeah. But he also took an elbow to the jaw, kind of unprovoked, and VAR was like, "You're good."
See, I think I don't agree with that. I think the problem was, Lamela could have done it on purpose. We don't know, but you can make the argument that it wasn't on purpose. Martial clearly took his hand and slapped him in the head.
It was retaliation.
Like, that's the problem, is like, you can make an argument that Lamela won. His arm was on his chest and he just slipped up. Yeah, he catches it. Like I said, he could have done it on purpose. We don't know.
100%.
But Martial literally just went and hit him in the head. Like,
no, he went.
It looked like a bad hit considering Lamela's reaction after.
I thought he got shot.
He took the little tap to the face, took 2 steps back, and then dove to the ground.
God, stop talking so loud.
No. Then turn it down. I don't care what you do.
I hate that.
But
that's one of the reasons why soccer gets such a bad rep too. It's just like that little contact. You're on the ground, and it's just to get a call. Which
I would have just.
Yeah,
I would have just liked. Okay, yeah, maybe. Again, you can make your argument. That argument. That with the elbow.
That's how I see it.
I would have at least take a look at it. I mean, it's still.
I thought he did. I thought he did later on. No. Didn't Lamela get a yellow at some point in this game? Am I crazy?
He didn't get yellow in that play.
Did he get yellow for something else? Is that what happened? Because he got taken off at halftime.
He got yellow for something else. Yeah. But there's force with a player's elbow to another player's jaw. I mean, you have to take a look at that. And then I don't know. Again,
Well, they had it. I don't know if they individually took a look at it, but they watched the Martial one on VAR, so it's not like they didn't watch it. Like, they had to at some point see it.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like there has to be some type of action for that one too. Then, if you're gonna take a little tap to the face, which I get there is intent. You know what he's doing. You know he's going to the head.
Double check the stats. I thought maybe they gave him a later yellow card, but I could be wrong.
He got one in the game. I don't think it was that. It was not that play.
29th.
Yeah, that was the same time.
I don't think it was.
I'm telling you, Martial was sent off in the 28th minute. There's no way that he got a yellow card in the 29th, and it wasn't because of that.
I never remember.
Think he did.
I never remember the ref walking over and giving him the card.
Because they didn't show it on TV. They said it after the fact on the broadcast.
How much later? Because at halftime, I think even before that, I think I fucking turned it off.
We'll have to get back to this.
You said he got a yellow in the 29th minute.
Yeah.
We can get back to this.
Right, and then Martial was sent off in the 28th.
I thought he was.
We don't need to argue about when he got a freaking yellow card. Let's just.
Whatever.
But I'm just saying, because he's saying he didn't get looked at. I'm like, I think it did get looked at. He got a yellow because of that.
Whatever. It's an elbow to the fucking jaw. It's a red card.
It's not. You're such a biased person. Okay, can we really talk about, though? We talked about at the beginning of this year about Tottenham, because all we're doing is talking about how bad Man U was. Tottenham needs to find players that can feed Kane the ball so he can score.
No, that's his job
and
now.
Tottenham literally said, "No, we don't.
We got one."
We're just gonna have Kane feed everyone this year.
Kane said, "I don't want to score. Everyone else can though."
And now, Son's on fire. Kane's finding players in the box, an incredible place to score. And now they have Bale coming back within this week or next week.
Yeah, I think their issue again is going to be
Tottenham's going to be good,
and if they can. Be solid back there.
There seems to be a common theme of all Premier League teams right now is that none of them can defend.
Yeah, attacking is sick, but defending is not there.
None
Maybe
of
the
them
attacker's
can
just
defend.
too good. But I agree. I think obviously Son and Kane are on a different level right now. And then if you add Bale in, they're just going to get even better. And then even the goals they scored, I know they're up a man. I mean, even after they got the red card, they literally came down and scored in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Son
like a minute or two later.
And then they had some nice team goals, albeit they were up a man. I think Højbjerg literally assisted, was it Aurier's goal?
Yeah.
Completely opened up United. And I if they can keep this up, I think they'll be a scary team.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we've seen teams go down to 10 men and put up way better performances than United did. There's an element of, just pride.
I've had 2 weeks.
And that just didn't show.
I've had 2 weeks to kind of heal this wound and sew it up, and you guys are ripping it right back open. This is, even just sitting here now and thinking about it, I'm just embarrassed.
Well, on the plus side, you weren't the only team that got
that felt good. That did feel good. That did feel good. Let's go to that one. Let's move on. That felt good.
Can I just how happy this game made me? Because
after what I saw, this made it better.
Liverpool has been a great team for the last few years, but I've been saying that they somehow get bailed out by the craziest bounces, the craziest calls, the craziest errors every time. Like I said, Pickford dropped that one ball last year, whatever year that was, and they tap it in to win in like the 90th minute. Like they get PKs in the 92nd minute. They score from Origi on a header in the 93rd minute.
Yeah.
This was like every bit of that karma coming the exact opposite way in this game.
Oh, and oh, did it taste good?
Like every single bounce that could have went against them went against them in this game.
By the way, the score was 7 Villa, Liverpool 2.
7.
An absolute shit rocking.
Not the only team that
This
lost
is
by 5,
the
baby.
champions from last year, losing by 5 goals.
To a team that was 1 point away from relegation.
And might not even be up if it weren't for VAR.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
but like it was just like those deflections at some point almost were just humorous.
Yeah.
It was like every shot they did deflect goal. It was Allison wasn't in. It was
Adrian. I was gonna say it doesn't help that like literally Adrian's in. He's terrible.
He's not
He
good.
literally gave a goal away in the 4th minute or something.
4th minute.
I think they're moving him. I think didn't they? I thought I saw the story that they're trying to move him.
Hey,
Probably
Garrett,
should after that.
who got a hat trick in this
Oh my yes,
Who got a
our
hat trick in
guy.
this game?
We've been
Who got a
talking
hat
about
trick
it
in
for
this
of course. I haven't fantasy. I didn't play him either.
game? I played Salah at least.
Ollie Watkins, our boy from the championship, scores a hattie.
Our boy, your boy, I guess.
My boy.
from
Your boy.
fantasy.
His first goal in the Premier League turns into his first hat trick in the Premier League.
Against Liverpool.
Yeah, and there was no red card in this one. Like
No PKs,
There's
no
no-
anything. It was
this
all
was
goals
just-
from the open. No
Open play.
red card. 11
No,
v 11.
I
Although
think-
it didn't seem like it.
yeah, everyone but Liverpool fans enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I'm going to be honest. Oh, God, am I dying. I'm going to be honest with you, too, though. There was, as much as I'd love to see it, I thought once, I'm pretty sure it was when it was 2-1, right? Salah comes down, they score their first. I'm like, here we go. Now they're going to start trying. What was it? 2 minutes later, McGinn, I was like, oh my God, we have a chance. Like, this is actually happening. They're actually going to lose this goddamn game. And
Yeah,
it made the, I mean, it's still, it softened the sting of the United game. a
You
little
know,
bit.
it's a bad day
So
for
good.
Liverpool when like Ross Barkley just comes in and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna score this week too."
Off a deflection.
Yeah, like it was.
What?
It was. I mean, if there's any team that has to have problems, like Liverpool is a team that's been like, you know, they have great attacking players, but their defense has been solid. Like that's with Van Dijk, and they have Robertson and whoever their other center back is, depending on the day. Who was it this game? Is it Gomez this week?
I can double check. I can double
Because
check.
he got torched by Watkins on the second goal.
I believe it was
Gomez it was.
Yeah.
Gomez, and then Arnold.
Gomez.
Like this is a team that touts their defense as a talented group, and this year they have just been mistake after mistake after mistake.
0 on goal differential. 11-4, 11 against through 4 games.
Like
Yeah.
that's not the team that won last
Yeah.
year.
And I know I know it's Liverpool, and I know they're struggling, and I know they obviously they didn't look good, but can't take too much away from Villa here.
No, Villa looked great,
They're 3-0.
and they have looked great.
They're 3-0.
We mentioned this last week.
flying.
They're making the right signings.
Yeah,
They're
they're
getting
doing
better in every position.
all the right things.
Grealish is literally masterclass. I think we put in here.
You put masterclass
He
in here.
literally had 2 goals and 3 assists. 3 assists.
Yeah, I mean-
Controlled the game, and they didn't see much of the ball throughout the game because that's the style of play Liverpool has.
Right.
But they finished when they had to, and they created when they had to, and I think they're another team that's just the sky's the limit for them right now.
This year,
They look good.
I tell you what, if there's a year for like another, not
Leicester?
Leicester story,
Yeah.
because I think that was almost will never happen again.
Never.
Like that would be like right now if
Was it
like
5,000
Fulham
to
came
1
up and
odds
just
or
like
something?
yeah, but we talked about how there's 2 or 3 teams that can compete. There's like 7 now. There's
Yeah.
8, 9. Like to be honest,
wide
this
open.
might be the most unpredictable year we've seen in
Yeah, I mean,
in recent memory.
Like I said, I mean, everything going on. No fans. You know, you don't have that. You really don't have the home field advantage. You're right. Like nobody knows what can happen. And
No.
as you know, as a fan of your team, so that for me, as a fan of United, you don't really like that because you want to know your team's gonna do good. But as like a neutral fan, and like when United aren't playing, as someone who just likes to watch the game, when I sit down, I watch a game like Villa Liverpool. Now I can sit down and watch those games, not thinking, "Oh, here we go, Liverpool's gonna be Liverpool." Now you can go into the game thinking anything, and now you're just thinking this could be another great game.
And even to add on to that, like we watch soccer as much as possible, but like if you want you watch Tottenham when they're on, you watch Man U, you watch Liverpool, you watch City. Like if I see like Leeds now or
Put
Everton
it on.
or Villa or any of these teams like Leicester, like there's at least like 11, maybe 10 teams where like if I see that they're playing, regardless of who the competition is, like I want to watch because it's exciting.
We watch every game, guys.
Yeah, we watch every game. We watch. Okay, the games are on at the same time sometimes, guys. We can only pick one. Like, don't lie to us. You're not watching Newcastle West Brom either.
We do what we can.
Do you know how many screens I have on down here?
We watch as many as we can. We go back. We look at the stats. We take our information.
I'm even watching the championship games too.
But listen, if it's City Liverpool and West Brom Newcastle, we know which one we're all watching.
The Newcastle game,
clearly
obviously.
West Brom. But I think it's great for the league.
Yeah,
that's great.
And in a time where, sports are just coming back, COVID, everything's going on. I think there's always like Saturday, Sunday morning. To your point, it could be a Villa game. It's like, oh, watch it, and it'll bring excitement around the game. Although not all the games are on, NBC anymore. We won't talk about Peacock again. We had that rant one time, but
money grab.
Let's skip past that.
Giant money grab.
I'll pose this question again: should Liverpool fans in Liverpool be concerned?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like City fans should be, just like Man U fans should be.
Yeah. Do you think it's because people are figuring out like Klopp's system? Like the wing backs pushing up, Robertson and Trent Alexander like pushing up high. Having the two back, like, do you think they're being exposed? Do you think people are figuring out their game plan a little bit, or is it just
I don't know,
other
like
teams getting stronger?
Is it just like a weird? I think it's the latter. Like, other teams are just getting better. Mm-hmm. Like
other teams are investing their money the right way. The bigger teams, I just feel. I mean, some big teams are. I mean, obviously, Everton's a bigger team. James, they invest. But like a team like United, they didn't use their money right. They didn't go out. They didn't shore up the back line. They didn't go get a center defensive mid. They didn't go get a pure goal scorer. They didn't do the right things.
But I mean,
it's for them. I think for the big teams right now, it's not about. I feel like it's not about winning. It's about money for them right now. And all these smaller teams are seeing, oh shit, like we put our heads down. We don't spend all this money, but we make the right signings. We get the right players, and we just outwork them. We can go into games and we can win. We can go on the road. We can go to Old Trafford. We can, we can go into Arsenal, go to the Etihad. We can win these games. Like, they could do that now, especially with no fans. They're taking their chances, and it's working.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I almost feel
working.
Like I think the fans are actually a giant part of this. Like,
it's huge.
It's just a mental thing, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
because if you're a bigger club, you have traveling fans, and like the away teams or the home teams might not have 50,000 fans. Like,
right, exactly.
There's times when, like they said, like big clubs, the traveling fans, there's games where they're louder than the home fans, and there's like 70% of the stadium is home and 30's away. But now, there's nobody there, and you're on the field with your teammates and pretty much your thoughts at that point. And there's no fans, there's nothing to get you going. You have to find your own energy, build off your team, build off your coaching staff, and for these smaller teams that just want to work and win, that's how they get their energy, and there's no fans to kind of bring them down. It plays a giant role, and that's what makes this season and this year is going to be so interesting, and it's going to be so fun to watch.
Yeah, and like you said, this is what the third year that Liverpool's been touting the same defensive line. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it could be also people are starting to figure it out. I mean, when you don't change personnel, obviously it's working, so they're not going to change it.
Yeah,
but it makes it easier to look at
tape and
find issues. Right?
Doing,
yeah.
Are we good on this game?
Yeah.
Are we good on game week 4?
Please, could we move on?
The hell of a week that was. Huh?
Yeah. All right. So, as you guys know, the transfer deadline was last week.
Yep.
Yeah. October 3rd, right?
A couple interesting deadline day deals that we want to talk about.
United.
We'll let United talk about, or Brian talk about United's first.
I mean,
bro, what's up with them like 40-year-old strikers?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't hate.
They messed up not getting Haaland or going hard for Haaland.
Yeah, no, messed that up. They messed up not getting Sancho. I mean, even though he's more of an outside guy, but
don't worry, they got Cavani.
I mean, I don't hate the Cavani signing. I mean,
it's a free transfer, right?
It's a free transfer. He's gonna give you something up top. I mean, he is a pure striker.
Goal scorer, yeah.
Not like we have Martial, who's a winger playing in the middle. He knows how to play in the middle. I mean, he's not playing this week because of what was it? The self-isolation coming back. So
yeah, by law.
So I don't hate the signing. I like the Tella signing. Can have some support in the back. I mean, I don't think they're going to use them because United's stupid. But I don't know. I like the two signings. They just signed the other guy too we didn't put on here.
Oh, him?
I could find it in a second. But no, he's a young guy. I'm not really sure where he's gonna fit in. Let me scroll down. It's right here. Calm down. Is it right here?
Are you sure? All right, we'll give you 5 seconds. No, we're moving on.
Give me the other 5 seconds. Yeah.
3,
You're the Uruguayan. I can't pronounce it.
Cavani.
Yes, no, say his name. Come on.
Facundo. Palistri, maybe. Palistri.
I'm imagining it can't be right. Like I don't know how to say it, but I just imagine that can't.
I mean, I've heard that he's a pretty good young player in the middle.
Anything about him?
I don't know. I don't. Right. That's all I've heard.
We're gonna move on.
But I'm interested to see. They say
he's not even gonna play probably.
No,
he's gonna get loaned out.
But I'm interested to see why they got him, what they're gonna do with him. Yeah. He's not gonna play, but I want to see what they do with him. But I'm okay. I'm content with the United signings. We could have did more, but
their signing sucked. What are we talking about?
I'm content with
They signed 38-year-old Cavani. Telling you might not even make the starting lineup, and a Uruguayan kid you can't pronounce, you've never heard of.
Tell us should make.
They're worth $1 billion.
Tell us should make the starting lineup.
They kind of seem like
yes, worth $1 billion. But then Woodward and the Glazers are fucking stupid.
They're
what
panic
the goddamn doing.
Cavani, I think, was a panic buy.
Such a fucking panic buy.
You get 1 year out of him.
A guy who
is free, actually,
and nothing against Cavani, by the way.
Nothing against him.
He was a great player.
He's pretty much it's a guy who's maybe can still do something, but he's big name. Name carries some weight. Fuck yeah, let's bring me United. Let's get something going over here. I fucking hate this team. God damn it.
All right, the next
he went from I'm content to I absolutely hate this team in a matter of 4 seconds.
I'm content with the signings.
That's the life of a United
Content
fan.
with the signings. Hate the fucking team. Hate them all.
I couldn't be any more happy about Arsenal signing, to be honest.
That was probably the best signing they could make.
That's a great fucking signing.
Oh my god, we've been linked with Party for so long. I was starting to think it was just talk. We're not going to get him.
Like everyone else.
It's too good to be
Arsenal.
true. Yeah, but I am so excited to have this guy. He's like a box-to-box midfielder. He brings the grit in the midfield. He could play defensive. He could go forward.
That's huge for you guys.
He just brings a different dimension to this team that they didn't have, because Xhaka in the midfield, I'm hoping he could play more defensively now. He's good with in possession with the ball and controlling the tempo of a game. Party can go up and back with Ceballos, and I think it adds a different dimension. So I'm so excited about this one.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest impact signing of this last little deadline time.
So.
I would say, yeah.
Easily.
So super excited about that. Hopefully he plays against City. I think I think he will. Or he should.
That'd be huge if he plays against City. That'll help him a lot.
And then
we could talk about Man City's signings.
And we're done.
Okay, good.
Okay, wrap that one up.
So just a couple other ones, not as big, that we wanted to quickly go over. Fulham signed Loftus-Cheek from Chelsea.
We were talking about how he was going to go. Yeah.
I honestly think he's going to grab them by the bootstraps and yank them out of relegation.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm kidding.
But Loftus-Cheek is not some scrub. He plays for England national team. He's a player that can make an impact.
Especially
he's
on
playing Fulham.
But they need the help.
Yeah.
And he can bring it.
Yeah, but if you get 4 touches a game,
it's
hard to help. But
that is true.
For his development and growth, it's a good move, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not going too far either. He's still in London.
Right.
So we'll see. I think it's a good move for him personally. He wasn't seeing time at Chelsea.
Yeah. And he was third in line.
Yeah.
We got Walcott loaned out to Southampton.
Walcott, who I feel should be 75 years old at this point.
Pretty much.
Yeah, how long has that dude been around?
Dude, it was I remember FIFA 08, Walcott's speed was 98.
He's been United.
Throw him down the side all the time.
This was his boyhood club too. He started with this team, went through their system, and then he's coming back now. So yeah.
See what he does.
Leeds signed Rafinha, another winger. Supposedly he's pretty good. I honestly don't know too much about him.
Me neither.
And then Everton signed Ben Godfrey from Norwich, another center back. So
interesting.
He was one of Norwich's best players last year too. I think he should have been their captain, to be honest. But
I wonder who he takes over for though, because they were playing Mina and
Keane.
Yeah, Keane hasn't looked great. I don't think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mina's kind of hit or miss, but Keane didn't look great last game I watched, at least.
Mina looks either really good or just non-existent.
But it's okay because Everton will never lose because they have James Rodriguez. It's fine.
Yeah.
Facts. Big fucking facts.
Big facts.
All right.
All right. The let's just say controversial talks that are going on at the moment.
Oh God, here we go.
Highly controversial, I would say, depending on who you are.
Project Big Picture.
Project Big Picture is a project big pile of shit, in my opinion, but that's just me.
That's what it should be called.
This is like the
sponsored by Peacock.
This is talk about power money grabs.
Yeah, 100%.
This is basically like saying we're up here, and the rest of you
Suck it.
are
Kick
below
dirt on you.
7,000 piles of shit. Is
Yeah.
basically what this is. The idea behind this.
Yeah, and United's one of the clubs that favors this, by the way.
Shocking.
United and Liverpool.
Scumbag clubs.
So just to give some background,
Yeah.
we pulled an article. We'll quickly kind of identify what it is and let you guys know. So obviously because of the because of the coronavirus, clubs are facing like €1 billion deficit in revenues. So without getting into too much detail, like clubs are hurting. And this is kind of a way of, and not just the Premier League clubs. These are all of the English clubs, like the
English football
association,
English,
or whatever it is.
English football ladder pyramid
And
thingy.
those are like
going
the
on.
top 3 or 4 leagues. So those bottom teams, they're not getting these TV revenues. They're not getting sponsorships like the Premier League is.
No fans, because they live and die off the fans going to those games.
Yeah,
So not on TV.
Yeah, and essentially what this proposes is it cuts the league to 18 teams, or the Premier League to 18 teams, and gets rid of the League Cup and the Community Shield. And the idea behind that is it saves money, 25% of all the future TV deals, plus $250 and million rescue funds will be made to the EFL to kind of save those smaller clubs. And I just think it's I don't know.
It just not for nothing, but a league that is arguably the biggest soccer league in the world for what's going on decades.
Mm-hmm.
You have one bad financial year, and you are that far in the crap that you have to do this already.
Yeah,
like
doesn't make sense. And these owners are
billionaires, multi-billionaires, and they had to fire a dinosaur.
This is one of the.
Arsenal don't support this at the moment. So
I'm just saying.
This is one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is the stupidest thing in the goddamn world. Okay, yeah, it's cool you're trying to help the small clubs. Why the fuck you doing it like this? Like you guys said, billionaires. You can't throw out some money here and there just to support the teams that are like 3 tiers below you.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we doing? Come on.
Instead, you need to relegate the bottom 2 teams. They go to the championship, and then they get this thing called parachute money, which it would be given to the relegated teams and would be paid to the FA for the lost revenues over the past year. Come on, guys.
Yeah, like
you're making billions of dollars.
Here's I like the way I'm understanding this. Are they giving the money? So the teams that relegated, they're giving the money to the teams just so those teams can give the money to the FA. Is that what I'm reading here? Money given to relegated teams would be scrapped, and $100 million would be paid to the FA. So what I'm getting at is, hey,
for the money they lost,
but we.
What?
So we scrolled down there. Sorry.
Oh. So
was confused for a minute.
the teams would get the money, but then the teams would have to give this money up, is what I'm saying. Correct?
I don't know.
It's fucking
I'm getting
stupid.
lost now.
It's
getting a
fucking
little
stupid
confused,
either way.
but I think
It's so fucking dumb.
My least favorite part of this is the bottom part that we have listed here.
Oh, yeah.
Is that so we list in here, there's 9 clubs that have been in the Premier League for the longest time. It's Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, Everton, Southampton, and West Ham, which if you would have polled me yesterday, I would not have pulled those 2 out of my ass, that's for sure. Would be afforded voting rights, which basically gives 6 of them the ability to pass and veto rules, which basically means the richest, highest echelon clubs have the power to make decisions that affect every club beneath them.
Yeah.
Like,
doesn't make sense.
if you ever wanted, this basically just, it gives so much power to those top teams that are already making that much more money.
Mm-hmm.
And you giving them the power to change and vote on rules and rulings is just, like, you're never going to have, like, we like to see parity within the league, which is what we were talking about this year, how, like, every team seems to kind of have a chance.
Good work, by the way.
Thank you.
Yep.
This is just eliminating that gap. Like, you're just expanding the gap at this point. Like, instead of trying to bring it closer, which is what everyone wants to see, and making competitive, the rich are getting richer, and the other teams just aren't getting anything.
Capitalism, baby.
Yeah. So it's kind of I understand it's a difficult time. Like, I know there's more that goes into it than we know of, but I'm thinking, like, there's got to be a way that you don't need to completely change the landscape of English soccer by, getting rid of certain cups and changing the whole dynamic of the league, removing 2 teams. Like, for one, that shortens the season, so they get less revenue and TV time going forward, but it's a lot more than just that. So I think there's probably a better way, and if the people weren't so greedy at the top, they could probably find a way to, each team pays a certain amount of money to keep the bottom clubs up, and running, so they don't go into bankruptcy or whatever.
Isn't Man U like the most valuable team in the world?
Yeah.
Or top 5 at least.
Top 5.
They were 1 for a while. Yeah. I don't know if they still are.
No, but they were.
Someone look this up real fast. Top 5 most valuable sports teams in the world. They're at least top 5. It's like them, the Cowboys,
Lakers probably.
I think it's Real Madrid. We're gonna talk while we fill this airtime here. Brian's looking it up at the moment. Brian, you look great today, by the way, bud.
Yeah, I know.
You can do it. You can do it.
Cowboys are number 1.
Okay.
Yankees are number 2. Knicks are number 3. This
they
has
dropped.
to be the Yeah.
Oh, so Real Madrid 7.
Man U's 10.
Man U's 10. They're worth $3.81 billion.
Fuck you, Glazers.
$1 billion.
Fuck the Glazers.
And they have to cut teams from the league because there's not enough money.
Here's the other thing too.
Yeah, it's the American business owners too, or the American owners.
Yeah,
so Liverpool and United both have American owners, and so does Arsenal. But I'm surprised they're not in it. But
dude, not for nothing. The Liverpool people are part of the Lakers ownership, aren't they? Didn't they just win a bunch of money?
The last thing.
A part owner.
Yeah, LeBron's a part owner.
The last thing I'm gonna say on this thing is, you guys mentioned like you take out some of these cups. You take out 2 teams. It's less.
The Community Shield is 1 game.
Yeah, it's less airtime. It's less this. It's less that, which is ultimately less revenue. But what bothers me, and what probably bothers a lot of people, is one of the best things about English soccer is the history. Like, it has such a rich history. So now all of a sudden you're just gonna, instead of these owners just trying to come together and just spend some extra money and to help out, you're gonna say, for the first time in our history, we're just gonna start cutting teams. We're gonna start cutting trophies. Like, how are you just gonna do that? Like, again, such a rich history for the sport. Like, the past, I don't know, hundreds of years, but that's what you're gonna do. That's instead of just giving out a little bit of money. That is, how are you gonna do that? That is terrible.
And adding on to that, I mean,
awful. He's ruining everything.
If you drop the team to 18, the league to 18 teams, I mean, you're basically rewriting every record book that's been made.
Exactly.
Like, 100 points in a season is gonna basically be. I'm not doing math real quick in my head, but it's got to be impossible, right? Or close to it.
I can do it.
I don't know.
I'm bad at math, so I don't have to do it.
Every goal scoring record is going to be that much harder to get. Every assist record is going to be that much harder to get.
And are they going to do it, when they have it in the record books, it's going to be...
Is there 2 records?
It's like, regular Premier League goal scoring record or post-COVID era or post-whatever era, that's the new record book. Like, you're messing with so much history instead of just stop being greedy for 2 minutes and fucking think about it, and then just help somebody out. Like, help the lower teams out. Just help them out. Like, just to save the history of the sport. Like,
there's no way in
terrible.
That country that this league will ever crumble and fail. There's just zero chance of that ever happening.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Agreed.
All right.
And that's our takes on that.
Before we wrap up, you guys want to just go over the game week 5?
Yeah, we'll go one at a time. Boom. Flash through it.
All right, Liverpool and Everton. Oh, God, that's a hell of a game.
It's the first game, too.
First game, 7:30.
Got to wake up early.
p.m. Eastern Standard?
Daylight. We're at daylight at the moment, I think.
Whatever.
We do this every time.
Every time.
I think it's daylight.
Yeah, it probably is. Anyway, East Coast time, 7:30.
Remember when I said quickly run through these, and then Brian has yet to actually say one word about the game?
Great game. 3-1 Everton. Fuck you, Liverpool.
Everton's home, too.
Now, that's some analytical observations if I've ever seen
Garrett,
it.
you got Chelsea, Southampton.
Chelsea-Southampton. That's a good game. 2 teams that are actually peaking pretty well lately. Let's see if Southampton can keep up their goal scoring. Let's see if Danny Ings can net a couple other ones against Chelsea. Chelsea's still trying to find their way with a little bit of team chemistry. Chelsea's home on this one.
Si, senor.
I would assume I give Chelsea the edge here, but I think Southampton can keep this one close. It will be a 1-goal differential either way.
Both of you get this one. City hosting Arsenal, 12:30 on Saturday. What are you guys thinking? How you feeling? What are your thoughts?
Honestly, like I wouldn't even be surprised like if we lose this game and we have no De Bruyne, we have no Aguero, we have no Jesus. Our defense is ass. We still have Kyle Walker and Benjamin Mendy, which is a waste of space on the left and right sides of the defense.
Jesus Christ.
Who's gonna score? Sterling? Probably not. Let's be honest. He scored one this week, and that was a miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep, we're screwed. I'm pretty much thinking.
I don't think you're screwed. I think you still have a strong team, but I think Arsenal's had a terrible record away at the top 6 clubs. I think this is their best chance, probably in a long time, to get 3 points. And if Partey plays, I think he'll honestly have a big difference. And with De Bruyne being out, I think he'll be able to make a difference in the midfield. I don't know. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm kind of hoping it's a high-scoring game.
I don't think it's going to be because I don't think anyone's scoring for City.
Yeah, but both defenses aren't great either. So
That's true, too.
I'm thinking I'll go like a 3-2.
Yeah, it's good. Good score.
I'm just saying right now, if Partey plays, he's getting his debut goal. Just saying. Oh, God, here we go. United at Newcastle. Listen. Newcastle look good. Decent. Above average. We look like a flaming dumpster. Filled with shit. That's been left out in the hot sun for about 3 weeks.
Very vivid. Very,
Yeah. Honestly, it's a must-win for United. That being said, whenever there's a must-win, we suck. I honestly don't see them winning this game. I don't know who our striker is for this one.
Cavani. He can't be, actually.
He can't because he's self-isolating.
Just kidding.
Do you put
Not
only
Cavani.
true striker you have, technically, is Ighalo, but he's 97 years old.
He's not great.
He's
He's
bad.
not good. Honestly don't know. I'm actually scared to play Newcastle.
I think if they don't win this game, it's going to be a long
If
season.
they don't win this
Ole's
game,
gone.
Ole's out.
You think
Ole's
so?
gone.
Yeah,
And Woodward,
Why
possibly.
is he still the... I don't get why is he still the coach.
I like what he's trying to do, but him and management don't see eye to eye. Management, they want to be good. Then again, management doesn't know what they're doing because they want to be good now, but they won't spend the money. Ole wants the young guys. He wants to build something. Management's not fond of that. So at this point, either just get rid of him or fucking get on the same page. I don't think United win this game. I think they tie or lose.
Cool.
Garrett, Fulham, Sheffield. Fuck you. Fulham, Sheffield. That's Sheffield.
This is you.
Fulham, Sheffield.
Dude,
wow.
one of them get their first point of the season, I think.
One of them has to, right?
Yeah. They're both 0-4. Yeah.
Fulham.
Both are 0-4.
I don't even know. Like, this is a game where it's like a team that's been struggling on defense that prides themselves on defensive tactics like Sheffield does, versus a team like Fulham that just signed a striker in Loftus-Cheek. Do they play him the first game?
Yep.
Sheffield just trying.
Do you know they're playing him the first game?
It just makes sense to play him.
I think this is a game that's, like you said, some team's going to fight for their first points here, and these points might be crucial going forward with how the season's panning out. I actually think Fulham gets the win here, to be honest. I do.
Wow.
Are they home?
No, at Sheffield.
Like, Fulham lost their last game, but didn't look absolutely terrible, if that makes sense. So I think Fulham gets the win.
Sheffield did just sign Brewster from Liverpool too, who's a young guy who's supposed to be pretty good. So I'm interested to see if he plays and if he brings anything to the team.
All right, Dan, you have Brighton at Palace.
Ooh, barn burner.
Pass.
And
No,
so, Brian, you have Tottenham. I'm just kidding.
No, I think it's not like the flashiest of games, but I think it should be a good game between the two teams. I think we've said in the past, they haven't gotten the greatest results.
Guys texting over here.
It's about soccer.
All right, well,
Jesus Christmas.
I'm gonna continue my. We said in the past, Brighton's been playing good. They just haven't really gotten the results. Like they played good against Chelsea and some other teams, and who are they playing in this game? Crystal Palace. They started off strong.
So much relevance this game doesn't have.
They started off strong. They beat United.
My favorite part of the whole thing is Dan trying to like break into it. Like, no, I think this is gonna be a good one.
I knew who they.
Who
I lost my train of thought halfway through.
What's going on?
Because you interrupted me, but
Just yank the headphones out of the computer. Keep going, Dan.
we're playing. No, I'm kidding.
What was this game again?
I think it's gonna be a close game. I think Brighton get the win though. It'll be close.
Nice.
I will. What the hell are we doing?
Hey, if you were in texting,
I will
you'd be able to get to
do-
it quicker, huh?
West Ham at Tottenham.
Ooh,
That's
I
a
like
pretty
this
game.
Gareth
mean-
Bale. Gareth Bale.
Yeah, I would like to. Is he? Did they say anything about him? Is
He's
he
back
gonna
in
play?
training. They didn't say anything else yet, though.
Right. I mean, Tottenham look good. I mean, West Ham aren't as bad as honestly I thought they were gonna be.
Talk about a glowing review.
Yeah, but
They're good. They're not that good.
They don't suck as much as we thought.
no, yeah, they're not as bad. I don't think they stop Kane and Son. The way they're playing, they're on the same level right now. They're just connecting right now, and it's just fun to watch with them. I think they win this game.
They were fun to watch.
I think they win it big too. I think they just blow them out. I think that's back-to-back blowout wins for Tottenham.
Nice.
Villa at Leicester.
This is a cool game.
Yeah.
This is a really cool game.
I'll be watching this one.
I 100% will too. Well, we tried to praise Leicester's consistency, and that went right out the window as soon as we said it. So, and we talked about how Villa this year has looked unmatched. So, is it going to be like the podcast curse where we talked Villa up this week, how good they looked, and then they're going to come out and look terrible against Leicester? Are we that bad of an influence? I think Madison and Grealish here. This is a fun matchup if they're both playing.
That is a
This
good
is
matchup.
this is pretty much England's future midfielders, center midfielders. So that's a fun to watch.
Battle.
If Leicester's defense looks as bad as it did and Villa looks as good as they do going forward, I don't see how Villa loses this game. But I know I can see the game.
Well, he forgot the team, so I'm just making sure you know.
I think Villa wins, even though they're away. I think Villa keeps up their form, and I think Ali gets another goal. I think Ali's getting hot.
Watkins. All right, Dan.
Okay.
Ali,
Sounds good.
Watkins.
What?
You have yet another barn burner on your hands.
How did Dan get all the crap he
Can I
needs?
West
get a good
Brom
game
and
for
Bur-
once?
Fine. You
No, who is it?
have two left. You do West Brom and Burnley, or Leeds and Wolves. Take your pick.
Are Liverpool not playing this week?
They were the first game.
Well, they were the very first game against Everton.
Oh, that's right.
Brian was talking. You probably weren't listening.
Yeah.
It's fine.
100% right. Who do I have? It's West Brom and who?
Burnley.
Okay.
Oh, this is a shit. So
Shit so?
I can't talk.
All right, so this game, West Brom and Burnley, both teams that haven't really been convincing at all this year.
Fair
Haven't
to
done
say.
anything. I think Burnley still don't have a win,
Neither of them do.
but they have West Brom have a point, right?
They
They're
got a
tied?
tie.
Wow, I think Burnley get their first win. I think it's about time.
I don't.
5 weeks in, they get a point.
No.
All
Or
right,
they
Burnley.
get 3 points.
Woo.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
All right, Brian, bring us home.
Wolves and Leeds. Leeds 3-0. Fuck this game.
Okay.
I'm over it.
Well, you don't get more analytical than that, folks.
I'm over it.
Well,
Nah,
we've been talking for over an hour. Brian needs a nap.
Yeah.
So we're going to call it there. Leeds fans, you're getting the dub.
Thank you guys for listening, watching. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, right?
Bro, we're on like
everything.
If you
At
Apple,
League
Spotify,
Pints,
whatever
at
you
League
use.
Pints on Twitter. Was it Instagram, TikTok?
We're
all
pretty
that
much
good stuff.
at League Pints on any type of social
Yeah,
media.
everything.
You
You
follow,
could,
so.
tweeted
Find
us.
us at League Pints.
Tweeted us, comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube
I'm
channel.
not really sure what this
All
was.
that jazz. Garrett's throwing out. I don't
I'm
know
not
what he's
sure. What
doing.
I'm like a rapper from like the 90s. I'm not sure what I'm
great.
doing here.
Other than that, thanks guys for
Dan
what are you
decides to
doing?
just chuck his microphone in the last 30 seconds.
I tried to pick it up, but it got stuck on the computer. And it
All right,
fell
guys.
over.
That's how
Thanks
we're
for
gonna
watching.
sign
Thanks for
off
listening.
today.
Thanks for all the support, guys.
Later.
Peace.
Bye.